Glenn Haywood.
Glenn Haywood is from Detroit originally.
Yep.
And I heard his name mentioned many, many times by Detroit area agents. And they said, "Oh, Glenn Haywood. Have you ever seen Glenn?" I go, "No, who's Glenn Haywood? What's a Glenn Haywood?" You know, and I met him once, but never saw him perform. And this was the first time when I saw these videos.
Really?
That I saw him perform, and I realized what a professional.
Oh, what a great entertainer.
This is a real worker. This is a guy from the real world who...
We've given him more time on the tape than anyone else because he deserves it. He is absolutely one of the best ventriloquists I've ever seen. Unfortunately, we had to edit this down to make it all fit, but we could have put a whole tape out on Glenn. And Glenn, thank you very much for letting us include you in this bash footage. I know you're going to enjoy yourselves. We'll see. We can have time. We can leave now. This is about 10 minutes. We can go take a break.
Okay.
This is about the Catholic priest that went to Alaska. He was up there a year. Bishop came up to see him, and he says, "Well, Father, how do you like it here in Alaska?" He says, "Are you kidding? If it wasn't for my rosary and 3 martinis a day, you could have this place." He says, "By the way, Bishop, would you like a martini?" Bishop says, "Yes, Father, I'll have a martini." Father says, "Rosary, bring the bishop a martini." I do a lot of fairs, and I was traveling, and I borrowed a car in I don't know, Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, somewhere, and I'm driving out in the fields, and there's cows and there's bulls in the fields. There's one bull in the field with all cows having the most marvelous time. I watched this bull for about 4 hours. I mean, he hit everything. He hit all, he hit the rocks, the trees, the cows. He didn't care. And the farmer came by in sort of a tractor-type Jeep. I says, "It's a marvelous bull." He says, "Is that a young bull?" He says, "Nope." I says, "Is that an old bull?" He says, "Yep." I says, "Well, how does he get that kind of pep and vitality?" Farmer says, "A good veterinarian. Came in twice a year, gave the bull some sort of a pill, and took care of the bull. Bull took care of his cows. It was an unusual pill. He showed it to me, a very small, tiny red pill about that big. Tasted like peppermint." That leads to my favorite story, because and I got it out of Reader's Digest, and I just loved it, and I put it in the act. And so 3 bulls are talking. 3 bulls are talking. There's a new bull coming, and they're really upset because they own this field, and they're not going to have any new bull coming in here. And one bull says, "Well, he better not touch my cows, I'll kill him." And the second bull says, "If he touches any of my cows, I'll murder." And the youngest bull says, "Well, if he goes near mine, I'll fight him." Well, a day arrives, and it's a 16-wheeler. The truck backs up. The walls are going in and out. The gate's being lowered. The gate opens, and here's the huffing, the meanest, largest horn, toughest bull you... And first cow says, "Well, he can have half of my cows." Second bull says, "He can have all of mine. I'm going to retire." Third bull, he's pawing the ground, snorting, huffing, puffing, and the other says, "Hey, man, you're not going to fight him, are you?" The guy says, "Fight him. I just want him to know I'm a bull." You just do something entertaining and educational. Educational, yes. You're out here to entertain, and I'd like you to. We're going to. Wendell, lost your shoe. Lost your shoe. No, I didn't. No, I found one. I'd like you to entertain. Do a poem or a rhyme. Oh, a rhyme, okay. There you had a steamboat had a bell. There you went to heaven, steamboat went toot, 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 toot. I got a joke that would close this joint. Where'd you get it? Tom Mullica. If I get a child, he'd give you poison. Now, as his kid, I'd take it. Can't you do anything? Can you do anything? Yes, I can. What can you do? Well, I'm an inventor. You're an inventor. What'd you invent? I invented a new birth control pill. A birth control pill? What do you call it? I kid you not. You gonna put me in the case? Yeah. You're not going to put me in the topic? No, I'm going to put you in the case. You're throwing everything else in there. Will you get in the case. Stay still. Get in the case, will you? I ain't going. Get in the case. Get in the case. Can I say my prayers? I think it's very nice. It'd be very nice if you said your prayers. Wendell, you saying your prayers? I do not hear you. I am not talking to you. Now, Get in the case.
I don't want to go.
I don't care.
I ain't going to do anything.
You've been very rude, very naughty.
I don't want to go in the stinking case.
Get in the case.
I don't want to go. Oh, you didn't do anything. Lady Joe, you want to get in the case?
There isn't room for two.
I got talent, honey.
Get in. Now.
I don't want to go. Oh, you didn't do anything. I'm with you.
Get in the case. You're blowing the bit. You'd lose the top of it. Get in the case. Now.
I don't want to go.
I'm not buying it.
Oh, you didn't do anything. Oh, I did it. Okay, I don't want to go here.
Come on, Wenzel.
I don't want to go.
Come on.
I don't want to get in.
You're getting all their sympathy.
Get your cotton chicken hands off a little kid. Don't you hit me, the crowd will mob you. You're folding me the wrong way. Get the hell out. What's your drink? Get it. Richard Nixon is innocent.
I got your finger. Got your finger. What? All right, move it out. Move it over here.
Don't cross the leg. Don't cross the leg. Glenn, there's no night like this damn thing. I want to go down.
No, I'm not.
Well, he's rarely here because he's traveling the world doing his profession. He's a magician, a raconteur, a ventriloquist, a very talented guy. So would you please join me in a warm welcome for the very talented Glenn Haywood.
I do get to travel all over the world. I was in Saudi Arabia doing some entertainment when our Desert Storm was in operation. It's kind of a frightening place to be. Yeah, it's a 16-hour flight, and you get off the plane and it's like visiting another planet. I mean, you see these turbans and fezzes and tents and funny shoes. It was the largest Shriners convention I've ever been to. I met the richest Arab in Saudi Arabia. Money was nothing to this man. He had a little boy about 4 years old, spoiled by his father's wealth. And the fella had taken his son to see Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And that's the one thing the little kid really liked. He flipped out. And the father was so touched, he said, "Son, I love you so much, I'm going to buy Disney World for my young man." And the little kid said, "No, Dad, if you do that, then the children of the world won't be able to enjoy the Magic Kingdom." And the father was so touched by his son's compassion, he says, "Anything you want, money's no object. I'll get it for you, name it." Little kid thought for a moment, and he said, "Well, I'd like to have a Mickey Mouse outfit." So the father bought him the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. I was supposed to. No, I flew back from Saudi Arabia on British Airlines. I don't know if you've ever been on them. BOAC. They're a little stuffy. I was sleeping, minding my own business, and all of a sudden the stewardess, they're kind of stuck up all the time. She was shaking me. She said, "I want to tell you, the pilot is the last one to leave the plane." I said, "Why are you telling me?" She says, "He just jumped." She's still staring at me. She says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I just did it." I did it, no play. We were flying over Iraq at the time. One fellow across the aisle, I'm trying to sleep, and he's making a ruckus. He's from Ireland, and I finally said, well, look, I want to sleep. Don't you have enough trouble up there in Belfast, the war over religion? And he looked at me and says, don't believe a word of that. That's just newspaper talk. I says, really, you live in Belfast? He told me he did. Asked him what he did for a living, and he told me he was a tail gunner on a bakery truck. Most of us are not old enough to remember what a bakery truck was. I don't even know what I tell that joke to you. But anyway, do you hear about the fellow that walked out of an alley in Belfast, put a knife at the throat of another person, and said, what religion are you? Guy had to think fast, Irish Catholic, Protestant. He says, I'm an Arab. Guy with a knife says, boy, I must be the luckiest Jew in Belfast. One of the great joys in coming back to my beloved day, I grew up with Popo the Clown. We got drunk many a night together when I was a young man. I don't know how old some of you are, but we used to work a joint called Dave Raffels, way over on Mason Street in San Francisco together years ago. We got to know him well. And so this is where my heart is. It's always a pleasure to be back. In fact, 2 of Oakland's finest were on duty last night on Telegraph Avenue. Not much was happening. They wanted to impress the chief of police, so they thought they'd follow the next car on Telegraph about 1 o'clock in the morning. Sooner or later, the guy would make a mistake, they'd give him a ticket. They followed this car down Telegraph, but did everything right. Stop at the stop sign, so obeyed the speed limit, they couldn't give him a ticket. They said, well, let's flash the light. Pull him over, tell him what a good driver he is. They flashed the light, pulled this guy over, walked up to the car, said, sir, we don't want to bother you. We want to take it. You're one of the most careful drivers we've ever seen. So he stuck his head out the window, looked at the cops, and says, well, you're crock. You gotta be careful. They took him right in. You might know him. His name was Charlie Plummer. The desk sergeant asked the 2 cops, why did you bring the sheriff of Alameda County in? What's wrong with you guys? He says, well, we used to work for him in Hayward. We thought we'd get our revenge. Anyway, this new drunk driving law here is really working. I don't know if you're aware of it. People are watching, I'm sure you are. We watch our friends who like to drink. They watch us. I was in one of my favorite restaurants in Hayward the other night, and there was a fellow sitting at the end of the bar on a bar stool, looked like he was out of it. And I said to the bartender, look, I got my car. Tell me where he lives. I'll take him home. The bartender told me where he lived. I pulled him off the bar stool. He fell down. Got him out in the parking lot. He fell down. Got him in my car. He fell in the back seat. Drove to his house. He fell out of the car. Had to drag him to the doorway. I knocked on the door. I said, Mrs. Riley, just brought your husband home. She looked down at him and she said, where's his wheelchair? It's a joy to see all the beautiful ladies that are here today. There's a lovely lady over here. Are you a member of the Breakfast Club, ma'am, or a guest? Guest. What's your name? Kim. Kim? Hi.
That's a dad behind.
But what I've heard about Bob Castle, how did he get a daughter like you? You're lovely, you're pretty, you're very pretty. You fool around? Oh, I'm a guest. Breakfast call. I was only kidding, you know that. But do you? And I asked about Diana over there. Nice to have you with us too. Lovely lady. You know, I don't know if you women realize it, the 2 of you that are here, how powerful you really are. I mean, really powerful. That fellow sitting next to you out there. Afraid of you. Scared to death. Great lady. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you guys have a good day. You know, you feel good there at work. You get off work early around 5 o'clock. You're real pleased about it. You go down to your favorite bar and have a few beers. Forget your troubles. Gentlemen, at that moment, what do you experience? Fear! What do? Ohio is famous. What do you do when you know you're late like that? Sneak your car and drive away with the engine on. Go through the front door like a coward in your own castle, which isn't even better for you. Sneak up the stairs with the shoes off, sneak in your own pajamas, sneak in your own bed, sideways. I have a king-size bed. Just when I think I got fooled, I stumble down, pull the covers around my neck, and I say to myself, Glenn, you got it made. She stirs, turns, and says, George, is that you? Gentlemen of this modern day of ERA, women's lib, and all that jazz, when you're late, do not sneak in. If that, slam your car in the driveway, kick down the front door, stomp up the stairs, crash in your own bedroom, rip off your clothes, shake the mattress, look her in the eye. Jenny, your lover is ready. You know 9 times out of 10 she'll pretend she's asleep. No, Charlie, it only works once, don't you? I grew up in San Francisco, went to George Washington High School over there. Came from a family of 11 children. We were the kind of kids our mother didn't want us to play with. When I was a kid, if you came into our neighborhood and saw a cat with a tail on it, you knew he was a tourist. Our yard had an electric fence around it. Neighbors put it there. When I was a little kid, I didn't think my parents liked me, you know. During the hunting season, they'd take me out in the woods to play. Dressed in a little bunny suit. As I grew up, I knew my parents really loved me. I used to bring girls over to the house. Part of my mother was concerned, none of them were good enough for me. Brought one time, I met one girl at a church picnic, looked like my mother, talked like my mother, walked like my mother, dressed like my mother. I brought her home. My father didn't like her. I mean, marriage isn't always bliss. Got a friend of mine celebrated his silver wedding anniversary, hadn't seen him in 20 years. I called him up and said, Ted, happy 25th. He says, I shouldn't even be talking to you. I said, man, what the hell did I do? He says, you remember we were married 5 years? We had a fight. I was ready to kill her. You said, don't do it. We'll get 20 years today. I could be a free man. I can talk about it. Works in different ways in life out there, you know. Women are into wild things today, running companies, raising families at the same time. I came home from one trip, my wife met me in the doorway. I've been on her about 4 weeks. She says, met me in the doorway as I came in. She says, honey, let's do something weird tonight. I said, all right. Took me into our bedroom. Took off all my clothes. Tied me to the bed. Put on all her clothes. And went out. Here was a guy that worked hard all his life. Like you know, really put in 12, 14 hours. Always got home late at night. This one night he got home so late, the lights were all off. 1 o'clock in the morning. Didn't want to bother his family. He snuck up the back stairway. Couldn't even find his way in the bedroom. It was pitch black. He couldn't find his pajamas. He finally got into bed. Before you know it, he was nuzzling up to his wife, and all of a sudden they were doing it. Felt a lot better. Went downstairs to get a glass of milk out of the refrigerator. Who is sitting at the kitchen table? His wife. This guy flips out and goes, what are you doing here? She says, I'll read the paper. What do you think of it? He says, well, who is upstairs? She says, mother. He runs up the stairs, he shakes the mattress, he says, mother, why didn't you talk to me? She says, I haven't talked to you in 20 years. Why should I start now? I like meeting people. I can tell nice people by the way they smile. This is what I sort of watch. And I want to borrow the gentleman right here. Got to smile ear to ear all the time. Yes, sir. That gentleman. Who, sir? Me, sir. You, sir. Come with you. Yes, sir. And Charles, you look kind of plumb, but I hear you're a neat guy. Come on up here. Mr. Plummer. Watch your step. Don't fall. Break your badge. I got you confused with the wrong guy. That's okay. I got you confused. You got me confused? Yeah, for me, I never one of them. Oh, sure. I'm okay now when I leave? I go fast? Okay. You were in Hayward, right? When?
76 to 86.
Okay, that was fair. You are? Hi, Dave Crockett. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. You know Charles? Come on, buddy. I know it. That's supposed to Charlie, but thanks, Charlie. I didn't forget you there. He won. You have no lines. You just stand here, okay? Okay, good. Don't be afraid. There's a front door right there. Okay. I know that you see a lot of magic. I'm not going to do a trick. I thought that we wanted to expose one, show you how the magicians do it. Now, before I show you the secret apparatus, modus operandi, I need an object that I forgot to get. Yes, up here. Well, that's too small. But you put it off. Nothing there. No matter what. Pencil, here. Just kind of face the audience. Wait a minute. That's your badge. That's much too big. Nothing here, nothing there, nothing here. He doesn't have any here, Charlie. I'm not going to hug you, Charlie. You had practice. You did pretty good for a guy who never drove a patrol car. You don't get that. I'm okay. I'll keep throwing them out. You pick out the ones you like. Don't take those. In your right coat pocket, there is an object. Can I borrow it? Yeah, that's the wrong. That's good. Okay, come on, use that. Recognize that, Dave? No. You know what it is? No clue what that is? The publisher was late by the decoder. I used to tell Polish jokes. I don't know Polish jokes. You're a Polish, don't feel bad about all those jokes. So the Polish got them, the Irish had them, the Swedish had them. Now the Polish have got them. They're going to keep them until they learn them. I was going to use this, but it's a little bit large for what I had in mind. No, I'm going to take that. I don't know how to use him. I had yours and Ariel. That was always wanted to live in a show. You got a flock of credit cards. Safe.
For safe sex.
Safe. I didn't know they had credit cards for that. What? Arm. 38, 24, 38. Oh, that's her left arm. You keep looking at it. Those are phone numbers. When a man answers, don't hang up. Says he's fun too. Did you read that? No, right? Back here. This side there? Oh, this is the one. This is David's. Oh, he's got a lot of them too. I'm going to drive Bert's nuts. Rent a car in Hayward and back it to Oakland. Been a tough week, huh, Dave? Want to run the sheriff? He was loaded, you know. And both sides. I only use the A. Now magicians have another object that you've been looking for. Oh, for it. All right. Oh, Hank would be my guest. Because I show people too. Every time you say something, you can spell it out. Come over here, Charles. This is a secret bag, hidden under a black suit, Charles. And notice how it's stitched all along there, kind of neat. Yeah. Dave, you want to look at here? You know, sure. I used to have a seeing eye dog leaving on stage. He's not on the right, okay? Reach down inside there and fool around. Stay in as long as you want. Leave it in there. Want to reach it again? Take your time. I don't have to take Saturday until October. What? Pull it inside out. So the audience will see what you were doing was nothing. Okay, good. All right. Charles, walk around in there and make sure it's home. Okay, no wire trap doors from yours for your apologies. Very fine. Okay, good. Thanks a lot. Okay. He really needs to stop. Okay. Take the egg, drop it in the bag. This is where the dirty work starts. I want to make sure the egg is really in the bag. Feel the egg, Charles. Thank you. You're fast. Don't milk it, just feel it. We count to 3. Watch. The magician counts to 3. He goes 1, 2. He shakes the bag. On 3, he turns it inside out. Now you examine the bag. David examines the bag. I examine the bag. And is anyone in the audience who thinks they know where the egg is? Raise your left hand. Next thing everybody thinks. Bless your heart. I think I'll keep you sharp for a while. Now, with this hand, hold the wrist. Give me freedom of movement. With this hand, hold the wrist. No, the other hand's easier for you, Charles. Face the audience and smile. Okay? Right, okay. Now, with your free hand, reach in the back. Pull it inside out. If I do it, things like cheat. Good. Charles, with your free hand, reach in the back. Straighten it out. Pull around. Okay, everything all right? Okay, good. Looking with your eyes. What do you see? Nothing. Very good. Show your right hand into the audience. Raise your hand. I know it's going to be. You soundly work the whole through. Show your hand in again. Reach into the back. I hold. There we go. While the egg is in the bag, there's some dirty work. Remember I had Charles feeling a little bastard. When he let go of the egg, I stuck it from there into the palm of my hand, where it's sitting right now, right? Now they were holding my wrist. They weren't thinking of looking at my hand, but the egg would fall. We don't want the egg. Oh, you stand those. Yeah, wait, oh, that's right. I'm going to work close now. Usually audiences get that close to me in the Midwest. You're getting faster, I'll tell you that. Hold this. I'm going to show you what a magician can do. Wait a minute. In order to be a first-class magician, you've got to be able to communicate with spirits. Here, hold that. Hold that. Don't test them in their antiques. Pardon me just a moment. That's bourbon, gin, rye. What do you like? That's Scotch. You get what I got in line, Charles. I have something else in mind this morning. Pour this in. Mix it up for you. That's the easy part. Hard part's the quick. Show your hand empty one more time. Believe it or not, there's one sitting right there. Okay? Your hand is empty. Take your time. Don't rock the boat. Just be slow in the bag. You did not know where that. That's a Gerald Ford pogo. This ball is the one Gerald Ford used in Vail on one hole. Had a bird, an eagle, an elk, a moose, and a mason. You did reach in far enough next to the golf ball, south of the egg, on the other side of the 2 shot glasses is. Oops. Not quite Scotch, but I thought good morning. It would be a little bit nice. There you are. You're beautiful. Thank you. Charlie, thank you for taking me out to very kind. I started out in San Francisco when I was 23 years old on KRL and television with a wooden-headed guy that made a reputation. And we're not going to have time this morning because you're But I sure admire your laughter. And I want to tell you, if you can laugh at life, you really got it made. I mean, there was a survey in USA Today, about 3 weeks ago, that if the male population of this country took a mental test, 25% would make it. So that means 1 out of every 4 of us is walking around without a full deck. So the next time you're playing cards or with 3 of your best friends, observe them very closely. And if they're okay, you can be the richest man in the world. You're going to impress your friends with your station in life, have all the money in the bank you need, cars in the garage, trips to Europe. But in the end, the size of your funeral is going to depend an awful lot on the liquor. My name is Glenn Haywood, and I'm deeply indebted to my dear friend, Fred Anderson, for making it possible for me to be here. We've been doing the Oakland Veterans Hospital Christmas Committee shows, what, 20 years, man, every year. My last engagement of the season, I always look forward to it. I'd like to leave you with 3 words that have always been in my heart in regards to my work and the audiences I work to, but we're not always easy to say out loud. They are now. It's a pleasure. I want to say that I love you. Thank you for letting me be here.